Diving into the world of the Sith is like peering into the shadowy, mysterious side of the Force. While the Jedi are cool and all, there's something undeniably captivating about the Sith. Maybe it's the charm of the dark side, or the enigmatic figures they tend to be. And when it comes to upping the ante in coolness, their arsenal of weapons takes the cake. Seriously, if the Sith were banned, these weapons would be their killer guitar solos. From lightsabers pulsating with crimson energy to ancient relics dripping with dark power, they've got quite the collection that makes one really excited. So welcome to Star Wars Deconstructed, students of the Force and acolytes of the galaxy. Whether you're a Jedi, Sith, or somewhere in between, join us today as we explore different types and variants of Sith weaponry. And believe it, it's a ride worth taking. Let's start it off with the familiar, a Sith Lightsaber. Sith Lightsabers were the dark side's answer to the Jedi's iconic weapon. Unlike the Jedi, the Sith couldn't bond with their Kyber crystals due to their connection with the dark side of the Force. They had a whole different process for creating these weapons, rooted in pouring their negative emotions, rage, hate, fear, and pain, into the crystals, resulting in that unmistakable crimson hue. The design of Sith lightsabers were as diverse as the Sith themselves. From Darth Sidious's nearly indestructible frick hilts finished with Electrum to Darth Vader's alloy metal and carbon composite, the materials and lengths varied. Some were standard hilt like Darth Momin's, others dual phased like Darth Vader's, or even double bladed like Darth Maul's iconic weapon. Each Sith had their own unique style, it seemed, from curved hilts to cross-guarded or sickle-bladed designs, reflecting their individuality and preferences within the Sith Order. Next, the Sith War Sword. It was a formidable melee weapon employed by the Sith and their minions during the Dark Wars. It had a double-edged staff-like appearance, almost a precursor to the double-bladed lightsabers favored by many Sith warriors later on. Even after the ancient Sith Empire fell, some Sith continued to wield these war swords, favoring the visceral sensation of hard metal slicing through flesh. Crafted from Cortosis weave metal, these weapons held a unique advantage in combat. In a significant historical event on Korriban, Dark Jedi Sith Lord Ajunti Pall used a Sith War Sword to decapitate the former Sith King, showcasing the brutal efficacy of these weapons. Interestingly, there was another variant of the Sith War Sword that diverged from the double-bladed style. This version resembled a more traditional sword but had undergone Sith alchemical treatment, rendering it impervious to lightsabers. This alchemical enhancement not only allowed it to block lightsaber strikes, but also to deflect blaster bolts, rivaling the defensive capabilities of lightsabers themselves. Ochi of Bestoon's blade, also known as Ochi's dagger, was more than just a simple weapon. It was steeped in Sith history and wielded by the Sith cultist and assassin himself. This dagger wasn't your average blade. It held a dark power that allowed it to withstand lightsaber strikes, making it a feared and formidable tool. What set this dagger apart were the Sith runes inscribed on it, detailing coordinates leading to Darth Sidious's Wayfinder. Not just a tool for violence, it was a crucial clue to something significant in the Sith world. Ochi's connection with the dagger was eerie. It seemed to almost communicate with him, urging him to commit more killings. There was a disturbing bloodlust associated with it, a craving for blood that became apparent when it absorbed the blood of its victims, almost as if it fed on their life force. This desire for blood was a chilling aspect, passing a dark craving onto anybody who wielded it. The dagger was entangled in significant events, including the tragic deaths of Rey's parents. Its sinister aura, resonating with the dark side of the Force, shocked Rey upon contact, reflecting the malevolent energy embedded within it. The droid C-3PO, whose programming blocked him from translating the Sith language inscribed on the blade, had to undergo alterations just to decipher its message. The dagger played a pivotal role in Rey's quest, aiding in the location of the Wayfinder by aligning specific parts of the hilt with the wreckage of the Death Star. The Thought Bomb was a cataclysmic creation born from the collective willpower of multiple Sith Lords, a dark ritual unleashing the raw destructive power of the dark side. When triggered, it obliterated every Force-sensitive being within its reach, both physical and ethereal, pulling their fragmented souls into a swirling eternal vortex of agony that coalesced into a silver orb. This horrifying power traced its roots back to the ancient ritual of Nathema, where Sith Lord Vitiate consumed an entire world. The specifics of the Thought Bomb were unraveled during the Jedi Civil War by Darth Revan, who documented its series in his Sith holocron, hidden in a forgotten temple on Leon until Darth Bane stumbled upon it in 1000 BBY. Passing on this knowledge to Lord Khan, leader of the Brotherhood of Darkness, Bane inadvertently set the stage for a tragic event. In a desperate bid to end their war with the Jedi, Khan's Sith Brotherhood unleashed the Thought Bomb upon Ruusan, resulting in the annihilation of nearly all sapient Force-sensitive life on the planet. Over a millennium later, the trapped spirits of the slain Jedi were released through the courageous acts of Kyle Katarn, a rebel agent and Jedi Knight. His valor liberated the imprisoned souls, offering them freedom from the torment of the Thought Bomb's grasp. Sith poison blades are quite intriguing relics within Sith lore, showcasing their preference for subtlety and deception in combat rather than sheer brute force. These weapons hold a dark, lethal edge, epitomizing the Sith's strategic approach to conflict and their profound connection with the dark side of the Force. One such infamous blade belonged to the Sith Lord Naga Sadow. This poisoned weapon, discovered centuries later by Revan in the tomb of Naga Sadow on Korriban, was designed to inflict venomous effects on its victims. It represented the Sith's mastery of not just physical combat, but also the subtler art of poisoning as a means of attack. Beyond poison blades, Sith swords, warblades, and daggers were significant melee weapons during the Sith Empire era. Distinguished by their connection to the dark side, these weapons were fueled by the Force itself. Crafting these blades involved rare metallic compounds, resulting in weapons ranging from 3 to 6.5 kilograms in weight. Mastery over these weapons demanded not just physical strength, but also a deep attunement to the Force, making them as lethal as lightsabers in skilled hands. What made these blades truly distinct was their magnetic properties, drawing them toward the dark side of the Force. This unique trait caused them to react oddly to Force lightning, absorbing and storing the energy. Upon contact with a solid object, the blade discharged the stored energy with devastating effects, amplifying its destructive power. Sith Lanvarok was a fearsome weapon crafted by the ancient Sith of the Old Republic, drawing inspiration from the Massassi Lanvarok. This projectile launcher unleashed razor-sharp Durasteel discs at astonishing speeds, specifically designed to target and confront Jedi adversaries. To heighten its effectiveness against lightsabers, the Sith overlaid the weapon with cortosis, a metal resistant to lightsaber strikes. The Lanvarok often bore personalized carvings in the ancient Sith language, adding a menacing touch to its appearance. When deployed, the Sith Lanvarok spat out multiple sharp discs in an erratic pattern, deliberately engineered to make dodging the projectiles a challenging feat. Controlled by the Force, these weapons were exclusively crafted for either right or left-handed individuals, with the left-handed versions representing a more traditional design, echoing the ancient Sith species' use of the Lanvarok. Despite its potency, the Sith Lanvarok had its limitations. Its reload time was considerably longer than standard weapons, rendering it more suitable for swift, precise assassinations rather than prolonged battles. In the era preceding Darth Bane, the Sith Lanvarok was a commonplace weapon, initially depicted as a primitive hunting tool in Sith legends. However, with the rise of Darth Bane, it became a rarity, its scarcity elevating its value. By the time of the Clone Wars, Sith Lanvaroks were regarded as valuable relics, sold exclusively as antiques. Although incredibly challenging to construct, certain Sith possessing access to Sith holocrons retained the knowledge of building a Sith Lanvarok. A specific Sith Lanvarok gained notoriety prior to 5 ABY, when Mara Jade possessed it. Eventually falling into the hands of Imperial Intelligence Director Yassan Assard, she orchestrated a mission using this weapon to eliminate Imperial Ruling Council member Plumba. However, the fate of this particular Lanvarok remains unknown. Lignan Crystals were a league of their own among lightsaber crystals. Forged from Lignan ore, these crystals possessed exceptional power within the dark side of the Force. Their unique properties bestowed lightsaber blades with an extended lifespan and a searing heat far surpassing that of regular crystals. These enhancements made Lignan-powered lightsabers formidable tools. They could slice through materials with astonishing speed and efficiency. During an ambush on exiled Jedi Grandmaster Luke Skywalker and his son Ben by a team of Sith, the superiority of Lignan-enhanced lightsabers became evident. When attempting to cut through thick metal doors and even a viewport for escape, the Sith's blades outperformed Skywalker's, giving them an edge in engaging the Jedi in combat. The Lignan Crystals didn't just augment the lightsaber's cutting ability, they also had an intriguing effect on dark-side Force users. It was believed that these crystals had the potential to enhance a dark-side user's Force powers, adding a layer of potency to their abilities, making them even more formidable adversaries in battle. The use of Electrum detailing on weapons was a distinctive mark of Sith Lords, reflecting their penchant for grandeur and instilling fear in others. This opulent addition to their weapons served as a symbol of their elevated status and immense power within the Sith Order. Darth Sidious, a notable figure among the Sith, incorporated Electrum detailing into his lightsabers during his apprenticeship under Darth Plagueis. These lightsabers, crafted from nearly indestructible materials and finished with Electrum, were a testament to his wealth and authority. However, Sidious rarely wielded these weapons, reserving their use for critical moments, as their distinctive appearance would immediately reveal his identity as a Sith Lord, jeopardizing his secrecy. Interestingly, the use of Electrum extended beyond Sith weaponry. Mace Windu, a Jedi known for its distinctive purple lightsaber, also utilized Electrum in the construction of his weapon. The Rakatan Infinite Empire, also known as the Rakata Empire, held dominion across the galaxy and was governed by the Rakata, an advanced species hailing from Lignan. Renowned as the Builders, the Rakata wielded unparalleled expertise in crafting super weapons and advanced technologies that surpassed the understanding of many other species. With their superior knowledge, they subjected and subjugated numerous other species, expanding their empire through conquest and enslavement. Their use of Coruscanti laborers and Corellian slaves to fabricate colossal weapons highlighted the Empire's reliance on forced labor for its grand-scale projects. One of their most significant creations was the Star Forge, a colossal space station capable of producing spacecraft and armaments fueled by the power of the dark side of the Force. These Force-imbued weapons and technologies born from the Rakata's mastery were highly coveted by Sith for their unparalleled potency and scarcity. The Darksaber stands as a unique and revered black-bladed lightsaber embodying rich Mandalorian heritage and tradition. Its distinctiveness extends beyond its appearance to its behavior and significance within Mandalorian culture. This ancient weapon possesses a shorter blade compared to standard lightsabers, taking on the form of a more conventional sword. Crafted entirely from Beskar, it bears Mandalorian hallmarks in its angular pommel, handguard, and slit-shaped blade emitter. Its sound differs from typical lightsabers, emitting a higher-pitched screech-like noise. The crystal within the Darksaber acts as a conduit for Force energy, responding to the wielder's thoughts and emotions. It showcases an almost sentient quality, adjusting its weight based on the connection between the wielder and the blade. Interestingly, the Darksaber demonstrates a unique ability to parry blows from lightsabers, creating an almost magnetic pull between the blades. In Mandalorian culture, the Darksaber carries immense significance. It symbolizes leadership, particularly within House Vizsla and Death Watch, and is revered as a prerequisite for Mandalore's ruler. According to tradition, ownership can only be earned by defeating the previous owner in combat. However, deviations from this method, such as Sabine Wren bestowing it upon Bo-Katan, were considered controversial within Mandalorian society. Moreover, differing beliefs existed regarding the Darksaber's acquisition. The Children of the Watch, a faction within Mandalorian society, held the belief that acquiring the Darksaber outside of combat carried a terrible curse, potentially leading to Mandalore's downfall. The complexities surrounding the Darksaber's acquisition, significance, and the divergent beliefs within Mandalorian society contribute to its mystique and enduring legacy among the Mandalorian people. Electrostaves emerged during the Clone Wars, wielding tremendous power and versatility. These staff-like weapons relied on two standard energy cells and were crafted with focusing rods along the shaft, channeling energy into an electromagnetic field generator. At each end, electromagnetic pulse-generating tips released intense electrical charges with varying outputs, empowering the user with multiple settings. Users could adjust the Electrostaff's output to suit diverse purposes. A shock setting proved effective for crowd control, while a potent stun setting could incapacitate even the sturdiest adversaries. On the highest setting, this weapon was devastating, capable of slicing a being in half with ease. Even glancing blows on lethal settings caused severe burns, and direct hits to vital areas meant instant death. Anakin Skywalker experienced the debilitating effects of a stunning setting, leaving him convulsing and incapacitated for several minutes, followed by severe after effects like paleness, rapid pulse, and impaired vision. These weapons were adept at bypassing protective armor and suits, proving effective against clone troopers during the Clone Wars. Beyond energy discharges, Electrostaves were formidable blunt force weapons capable of causing lethal trauma. Crafted from Frick alloy, many Electrostaves were lightsaber resistant, presenting a strategic advantage against Force users due to their extended reach and the ability to deflect lightsaber strikes. The versatility of Electrostaves extended beyond combat. They served in crowd control, subdued targets non-lethally, neutralized energy shields, disabled electronics, and were even employed as torture devices. This multifaceted utility made Electrostaves great weapons both on and off the battlefield during the era of the Clone Wars. Force-imbued blades are the Sith's standout weaponry. These solid metal blades don't rely on any power source. Instead, they pulsate with the raw might of the Force. Their glow isn't a one-trick pony. It can manifest in various ways: crackling lightning-like streaks, a change in color, fiery manifestations, or sometimes it's stealthy, showing no visual signs at all. These blades were crazy, strong, and sharp, slicing through almost anything effortlessly, like a hot knife through butter. They're the bane of Darkseid spirits, capable of not just harming, but straight up vanquishing those eerie entities. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and watch the next one.